Hello everyone, welcome to Tennis Fan Video. Alex Eala defeated Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova 6-3, 6-3 to reach the second round of the Madrid Open. The win was one of Eala's best on clay, defeating a former French Open finalist in straight sets. Many believe clay is Eala's weakest surface, an understandable assumption, given the Filipina has never reached a tour-level quarter-final on the red dirt. However, Pavlyuchenkova seems to think Eala's game is suited to the clay. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova claims Alex Eala's consistent game is suited to clay courts. Speaking to Bolshoi after the match, Pavlyuchenkova shared her thoughts on the Filipina. "I don't think she has any wow shots or serves, but she plays very consistently, without any mistakes," said Pavlyuchenkova, translated from Russian. Quite a Spanish style of tennis, which, in principle, is what is needed on clay. Pavlyuchenkova's assessment of Eala's game is surprising, but it makes a lot of sense. Ignoring her results, you can understand why Eala's game would be suited to the clay. She doesn't have a big weapon like some of the best players on tour, but has elite movement and variety of shots, which is made all the more dangerous by her consistency. So rather than writing Eala off on clay, perhaps fans need to stay patient and wait to see her reach her full potential on the surface. After all, Pavlyuchenkova is a former French Open finalist and has won 3 WTA titles on clay. If she believes Eala's game is suited to the clay, it probably is. Pavlyuchenkova continued, delivering her verdict on the match itself. "It will be difficult to find anything positive today," said Pavlyuchenkova. "I tried to find positivity during the match, but it was hard. I started the match very well, and I could have broken her in the second game, but that was about it. Every time something good was about to happen, it failed." Alex Eala versus Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. Match stats. Stats. Alex Eala. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. Aces. 1. 4. Double faults. 1. 2. First serve percent. 70%. 62%. Win percent on first serve. 76%. 50%. Win percent on second serve. 37%. 56%. Break points. 4 out of 8. 1 out of 6. Alex Eala versus Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. Match stats. I probably lacked a bit of sharpness because I missed the American Series, Indian Wells, and the Miami Open. I didn't play tournaments at a high level for such a long time. I probably wasn't fresh enough after qualifying. It was a tough match yesterday. Pavlyuchenkova hasn't won a main draw singles match in 2026 and currently sits 116th in the world rankings. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova's record in 2026. Brisbane International 1R, loss versus Sorana Cîrstea. Australian Open 1R, loss versus Zhuoxuan Bai. Abu Dhabi Open 1R, loss versus McCartney Kessler. Qatar Open 1R, loss versus Elise Mertens. Dubai Tennis Championships 1R, loss versus Barbara Krejcikova. WTA 125K, Dubrovnik 1R, loss versus Tena Lucas. Madrid Open Q1 win versus Victoria Timova. Madrid Open Q2 win versus Yulia Starodutseva. Madrid Open 1R loss versus Alex Eala. The Russian will now turn her attentions to Rome and the Italian Open qualifying tournament. Alex Eala has already reached new heights on clay in 2026. If Pavlyuchenkova is to be believed, Eala could one day achieve great things on clay. In fact, that day might not be too far away. Eala has already recorded her best-ever clay court campaign, winning multiple main draw matches on the surface for the first time in her career. 2021 WTA Tour Clay main draw wins, 1. 2021 Cluj-Napoca 1R win versus Paula Ormakia, 7-5, 6-2. 2022 WTA Tour Clay main draw wins, 0. 2023 WTA Tour Clay main draw wins, 0. 2024 WTA Tour Clay main draw wins, 1. 2024 Madrid Open 1R win versus Lesia Tsurenko, 2-6, 6-4, 6-4. 2025 WTA Tour Clay main draw wins, 1. 2025 Madrid Open 1R win versus Victoria Timova, 6-3, 6-2. 2026 WTA Tour Clay main draw wins, 2 asterisk. 2026 Linz Open 1R win versus Julia Grabher, 6-4, 6-3. 2026 Madrid Open 1R win versus Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, 6-3, 6-3. Admittedly, the bar was pretty low, but it's good to see Eala making progress. She won't want to stop there, and will now focus on her second-round match. Eala will play Belgium's Elise Mertens in the second round of the Madrid Open later this week. Before then, she will team up with Zeynep Sonmez to take on Chan Haoqing and Fanny Stoller in the first round of the doubles event on Thursday, April 23rd. The Madrid clay had barely settled when Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, a seasoned warrior of the WTA Tour, offered a remark that caught many off guard. Fresh from her loss to rising Filipina star Alex Eala, the Russian veteran didn't dwell on missed chances or shifting momentum. Instead, she turned the spotlight squarely on her young opponent, and what she said carried a tone of both surprise and respect. "I didn't expect her to be that comfortable on clay," Pavlyuchenkova admitted, a statement that quickly echoed across tennis circles. For a player like Eala, often associated with her finesse, court intelligence, and strong baseline game, clay wasn't supposed to be her most dangerous and on one of the tour's most demanding surfaces. She rewrote that narrative with authority. From the very first rally, Eala looked composed beyond her years. She slid into shots with confidence, constructed points patiently, and displayed a maturity that belied her age. Against Pavlyuchenkova, a Grand Slam finalist with years of clay court experience, Eala didn't just survive, she dictated. What stood out most, and what likely prompted Pavlyuchenkova's surprising claim, was Eala's adaptability. Clay rewards patience, stamina, and tactical awareness. Eala seemed to possess all three in abundance. She absorbed pace when needed, redirected angles with precision, and showed a willingness to extend rallies, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of her performance was her fearlessness. Facing a player of Pavlyuchenkova's caliber can often intimidate even seasoned competitors. Eala, however, played as if she belonged, because she does. Pavlyuchenkova's comment wasn't just a passing observation, it was an acknowledgement. Coming from a player who has battled the best on clay courts around the world, it hinted at something bigger. Alex Eala is evolving faster than expected. The loss may have stung for the Russian, but her words carried a sense of admiration. In many ways, it felt like a passing of the torch moment, one generation recognizing the rise of another. For Eala, this victory in Madrid is more than just a step forward in a tournament. It's a statement. A declaration that her game is not limited by surface or expectation. Clay, once considered a potential challenge, is now becoming a stage where she can shine. And if Pavlyuchenkova's surprising claim is anything to go by, the rest of the tour might need to take notice, quickly. Because Alex Eala isn't just learning how to win on clay, she's mastering it. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.